Good afternoon. How is it going? How is it going? I've been messing around with YouTube too much. So this is something I added in here. Just I thought it was pretty funny. So I had to add it. Check it out. Yeah. That'll get you going. Hey Rabbit, Tweety. Good to see both of you. Good to see both of you. Yeah, it's wow, had a good time last night on expert stream. Lots of fun was had. Made made fun of Quaffle Ball most of the time. Good people, good people. Oh, oh. And yeah, so I was going to stream last night, and expert contacted me at the witching hour and asked me if I wanted to come on with his stream, and I said sure, why not. So I switched over my stream to do this afternoon. It's a little bit out of the ordinary for me, but it was, I thought it would be good fun to be on for that wonderful watching the sweetest lawyer in you. Ooh, I have some good stuff. Yeah, I was actually watching a little bit of Nick. He's good people. Um, I was enjoying his stream, but I'm trying to get some things solidified in just a regular stream and make those worthwhile and enjoyable. I've got, where is it? I actually have my Rumble up also, and at some point I may be switching over there. Just depends on how intense it gets a little bit later on, if that makes sense. Because sometimes my streams can get a little bit strange. So let me pull up these wonderful people over here on Rumble. Pop that bad boy out, and there we go. That's up and running also. Yes. So what a beautiful weekend it is. Yes, Nicholas, of course. Why wouldn't he drive a Saab? He's awesome. Oh, don't worry about it, Rabbit. It's okay. It is absolutely okay. I have had a wonderful weekend so far. It's been very relaxing. I'm actually afternoon drinking, which is rare for me because normally I don't drink in the afternoon. I usually do most of my drinking at night. I mistakenly thought today was Sunday because this week has gone by. Just the past week has gone by so fast. I haven't had time to keep up with everything that's going on in the news. Um, and I've got a new series that I'm working on. What you saw for this was actually what would be the introduction for that. I'm going to be going through the Federalist Papers and sort of tying that into where the Constitution and the reason for that, um, which I wasn't really big on what the Federalist Papers were or how much they actually meant to the rest of the world, how important um, that was to everything, and something's sort of solidified my thinking on this when I was talking with the expert after the after show just for a short period of time. I and I don't know if everybody else has been feeling the same way. Maybe it's just me, or maybe I'm just a little kooky or something. Probably a little kooky. Could be a combination of all. But I think something that I've noticed in the past. I don't know. It's been a slow build, um, but most noticeably in the past couple of years, it's like the world is holding their breath, waiting on something to happen. Um, it's strange. And there's all this little squabbling going on between people, countries, factions, the left, the right, the the middle of the road. It's just a lot of, I don't know. It's like there's this anxiousness in the air, and it feels like a dam is about to break, and it's like everyone's holding their breath, just waiting on it to happen. This weird, weird kind of, it's hard to describe. Um, like an anticipation for something something big to break, something major to happen, something to pop off the wrong way. And I think we saw a little bit of that during all of the peaceful but fiery protests all summer long in 2020. Like we all saw it building, and it was this culmination of crap that happened all around Rittenhouse and George Floyd, and just it was just this, like a pressure release, but it didn't release the pressure. It seemed to build more on it. I don't know if it's the state of the world or if it's that there's people that have their fingers on it trying to push these kind of things that they're just hoping to get, trying to get those, I don't know, it's hard to get those thoughts out of what exactly it is. It seems like a bombardment from every which way, every side of the aisle. um and of course, as I pull up the news, I'm just like, so what's happening in the world? And of course, the first thing that comes popping up, and just, which I thought was quite funny, was this. Hiroshima, Japan. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky arrives Saturday in Japan for talks with the leaders of the world's most powerful democracies. I was like, So I started thinking, so what was, hey, Daisy girl, good to see you. Good to see you. So I started thinking, what are these developed countries that they talk about? And let's just put it this way. Out of all of the countries that are in this G7 summit, there's only one of them that's even in the top 10. And it's not the United States. It's not the UK. It's not even France or Italy. I mean, these people are scoring low. Definitely not Canada. Is not in the top 10 either. It's weird that you would think that this G7 is supposed to be the most powerful. They might be the most powerful, but they're not. They're definitely not the most developed countries. You take in all the factors in places like Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, Hong Kong, even Australia rank higher than Sweden, Denmark, Ireland, even higher than Germany. So when they say these are the most developed countries, they might be well developed, but their economy is crap. Their policies are for better or worse, they're pretty much garbage. I mean, some of the top considerations of this G7 summit are a guy that would dress in blackface, that locked down his entire country, and then called those people that protested against it evil. There's that little boy right there. And you look at the group of people that they have here, and they're nothing. They're calling these leaders of the most powerful countries, and it boils down to all of them wanting to back this little crooked bastard named Zelensky. Now, if you think he's not crooked, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, and they keep saying that this international support is key priority as Ukraine prepares for what's seen as a major push to take back territory seized by Russia in the war that began in February last year. That's not true. That's absolute bullshit. That is not true at all. Battle between Russia and Ukraine has been going on for quite some time. It's just been boiling under the surface. Sort of how I see the world today. Just there's something boiling under the surface that's about to break. Usually, yeah, normally it would be a preferred neutral choice. The host nation, Japan, which is hilarious because, you think about it, Japan was where they dropped the first 2 nuclear bombs that were not in a test series. So, interesting choice of places to do. Japan, G7, important meetings with partners and friends of Ukraine. But these are leaders that are friends with Ukraine. There's very little support in the United States for sending money over to Ukraine. At least all the people I know, and I'm talking about left and right. Left and right does not want to have a war raging, a war that could have been completely avoidable, but for whatever reason, they decided not to. This could be ended really quick. G7, of course, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and UK and US. And out of those, Germany is the only one that's in the top 10. France is like a close second on there. Italy barely even registers. Japan barely even registers. Canada is up, ranks higher than UK and USA. Hell, I think it ranks higher than Italy and Japan. I mean, so why do you have these 7 countries that are all backing and supporting whenever they're not even the most economically sound? I'm not saying one country is better than the other, unless you're in the US. Of course, it's the best, but it just makes no sense. A European Union official speaking on condition of well, then he's a piece of garbage. Why would you speak anonymously on this? Why not have your name out there? Zelensky will take part in 2 separate sessions. I don't know why. He doesn't even have to show up. They'll send him money. Another will include the G7 as well as other nations invited to take part in the summit. This will focus on peace and stability. Then they're going about it all wrong. They don't want to sit down and discuss anything. This also includes European Union, so there's more, yeah. I mean, there's quite a few countries that are involved in G7, but I think there's 16 countries or something, but these are supposed to be the global leaders. Don't tell me one thing that Canada is leading in globally. What are they producing globally that everybody is just vying to secure? What, do they attach to the United States? I mean, Japan exports quite a bit. Italy exports quite a bit. Canada, let's see, they don't have a really good wine country. They got snow, they got bad policies. I guess they're exporting bad policy everywhere. So I guess they're doing something there. It's necessary to improve Ukraine's air defense capabilities, including the training of our pilots. No, no. Let them train themselves. That's what they should have been doing the whole time. You want to go fight a war, you don't go slapping a bully on the block, you know, because that's what Ukraine has done. What's up, Cool Frog? Good to see you, brother. No, absolutely not. But there is a peaceful resolution. There's always been a peaceful resolution, but Ukraine doesn't want to go that route. Why would they? There's too much money to be made in a war. You have to remember the people that start wars are not the ones that actually fight the wars. It's not their children that go and fight these wars. It's not their sons. It's not their daughters. It's their sons and daughters of the country, but that's it. They do not give two shits. Your kings and queens do not care about the pawns that are on the board. Do I have the answer? Absolutely not. I don't have an answer for what could be done or what should be done. But this is something that's been raging for well over 2 decades, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong in this. I'd like somebody to correct me if I am, but this bullshit that's been going on between Russia and Ukraine, it's been going on for quite some time. They actually used to do rather well. You've just got some pretty hateful people in Ukraine and some pretty hateful people in Russia. And they voted to overturn parts of their country that had no interest in being part of Ukraine because they run bad policies. Ukraine actually produces quite a bit. It's very helpful for its people and for its economy. There's a reason why Ukraine is not part of NATO. There's a big reason why. That's why they shouldn't be getting any of that support. I also don't think that the US should be part of NATO, but that's, I've got no say so in that. I can only do so much. I don't support war in any way. There's always a peaceful resolution, unless you got someone psychotic like Hitler. And then yeah, you probably you're not going to be able to do something peacefully. Not saying that Putin is a good guy. Far from it. I don't trust the guy whatsoever. But you also have to know where you stand on that. Ukraine was doing just fine for quite a long time. Yep. What to do. Should not exist. Exactly. Yeah, there's a reason why those don't. Big reason why. But besides him going to go and testify over here in this joint statement at the G7, Russia's brutal war of aggression just sounds like political spin right there. And we've seen that before. We've seen that quite a bit before. Yes. Exactly. Russia's brutal war of aggression, which I remember the weapons of mass destruction. I mean, wasn't that something that we've got to go in there? We've got to do something about this and make it stop. It's a little bit over oil, if I'm seeing what I see. We reaffirm our unwavering support for Ukraine for as long as it takes to bring a comprehensive, just, and lasting peace. I doubt it. G7 leaders have faced a balancing act as they took to address a raft of global worries demanding urgent attention. And if you see their list, it's climate change, AI, poverty and economic instability, nuclear proliferation, and above all, the war in Ukraine. These are their policies that they think are global worries. These are things that they're creating. These are things that they're effectively doing. How many of these people took the most economical way to get to the Hiroshima? How many of them do you think stayed in a hostel to save a little bit of money instead of staying in a nice big hotel, overeat, drink, party it up? How many do you think did that? They're worried about climate change. Yes, exactly. AI. How is AI going to affect any of it? I mean, explain to me how AI, artificial intelligence, is going to affect any of it. Is it because they can't control it, which means they can't control what it does, what it says, how it acts. It's like creating Frankenstein creating the monster, and then can't figure out why it crushes him. Poverty and economic instability, but they're blaming climate change on this. Uh, it's stupid and ridiculous. If these are their worries, there's much bigger worries out there than this. This is minute, and they won't talk about child trafficking. I think is a bigger issue of problems. I would think taking Jesus Lord, my wonderful wife is sending me pictures nonstop. Gotta love it. She's already sent me 40 pictures. And of course, they're not talking anything about BRICS. They don't say anything about this. I would think that BRICS might be a little bit more of an issue. I think they could resolve a little bit of their poverty and economic instability by opening up the pipelines again that they shut down. Climate change? Okay. So to me, whenever people start talking about climate change, it just reminds me of the flat earthers. Because no matter how much you tell them it's not happening, a percentage of a degree over the past 100 years. Wonderful. It's wonderful. Yet they'll destroy the earth, mining for resources that are poisonous to the population of the world just to make batteries. China, the world's number 2 economy, sits at the nexus of many of those concerns. It sounds to me like they're ramping up for a little bit of a battle between China, Russia, and you also have Brazil in there, but it seems more like they use Brazil as a place to stomp around, because I'm sure they've got some nice precious resources there. The G7 on Saturday said they did not want to harm China. Yeah, sure. We're seeking constructive and stable relations with Beijing. Yeah, just their climate change seems like a conveniently vague excuse to implement various restrictions. Yes, it's all it is. Same way with AI, same way with whenever they talk about poverty, a war on poverty. Yet they'll print money, destabilize the dollar, destabilize countries in the process of doing it. They're losing climate change is live. Talking point of the left. Yes. Yes. Now, what do I know? I'm no scientist. I'm just an idiot on the internet. There's an increase in anxiety at Beijing, which has been steadily building up its nuclear weapons program. Well, duh. Could try to seize Taiwan by force. Well, let's hope they don't. But if they do, what's the U.S. going to do? Name one thing that the U.S. can possibly do if China goes into Taiwan. What's the one thing that U.S. could do? Because it looks like they're more interested in sending troops over to Ukraine, sending planes, sending changing. I know, isn't it awesome? It's so real. So, they're sending troops there. They have ships out in the South China Sea. But is it going to do anything if China actually does make an aggressive move? I mean, really, is it going to do anything? Because China claims that Taiwan is owned by China. They don't recognize it. Hell, you find it hard to even get the United States to recognize Taiwan as a sovereign nation of its own country. Uh-oh. There's a future plan subtly described. Yeah. Recognizing the importance of engaging candidly with expressing our concerns directly to China. Yeah, that's just like saying, Jimmy, stop punching your sister in the face. Jimmy, bad boy Jimmy. It's not nice to punch your sister in the face. Doesn't stop Jimmy. Give them a nice smack. Might change their attitude. Show weakness against a place like China. It's not the way to go. They also urge China to pressure Russia to end the war in Ukraine. Well, that's not going to happen. To support a comprehensive, just, and lasting peace. North Korea, which has been testing missiles at a torrid pace. Well, they've been doing that for as long as they possibly can. As long as I've been living, they've been testing missiles. Must completely abandon its nuclear bomb ambitions, including any further nuclear tests or launches that use ballistic missile technology. The green light on F-16 training is the latest shift by Biden's administration. How is that trying to stabilize, become more peaceful, or find a peaceful resolution? It's not. The United States has insisted that it is sending weapons to Ukraine to defend itself and discourage attacks by Ukraine into Russian territory. They're saying they've discouraged attacks by Ukraine. Doesn't mean they've stopped them from doing it. Just, Jimmy, stop punching your sister in the nose. Ukraine is looking to get smacked down by the bully. The bear, it don't play. I mean, you can read the news reports, but them boys are pretty stout. Not saying that they would win in an all-out war. The little skirmishes, yeah, I'm sure that they're doing just fine. We've reached a moment where it is time to look down the road again to say what it is Ukraine is going to need as part of a future force to be able to deter and defend against Russian aggression as we go forward. But it's Ukraine has been just as aggressive. I can't talk about the stuff I would like to because YouTube considers it misinformation. Isn't it wonderful? You live in this country. You try to express an opinion, and it's labeled disinformation. It's labeled a lie, labeled not true. And that's what I mean by when I'm saying there's something boiling under the surface. Something boiling under the surface. And you'll get your little pressure releases, your little pressure valves, but there's something more going on that we don't know about. G7 leaders have rolled out a new wave of global sanctions on Moscow. That's not going to do anything, especially if China is trading in yuan. You've got other countries trading in rubles for whatever the Russian money is. So it's not changing any of that at all. It's just money flowing in, money flowing out, business as usual. And it really, I think, angers the United States as far as government goes. When I say the United States, as far as government of the United States goes, I think it's very disturbing to them that, well, hell, they're not getting any piece of that pie. There's money, there's resources being basically bartered, and they've got nothing to do. Did you say a while ago they discussed AI at the meeting? Yes. Yes, I did. The leaders began the summit with a visit to a peace park dedicated to the tens of thousands who died in the first. It's all pomp. It's all pomp and BS. They're dedicated to the tens of thousands who died in the first atomic bomb detonation. Kishida, who represents Hiroshima in Parliament, wants nuclear disarmament to be a major focus of discussions. Of course. They're always wanting to get rid of those. G7 leaders also discuss efforts to strengthen the global economy and address rising prices that are squeezing families and government budgets around the world. Well, if you stop printing money, it stops squeezing budgets. It's like they know what the problem is, but they continue doing the same stupid thing. They're putting duct tape over duct tape over duct tape, and it's building. The group reiterated its aim to pull together $600 billion in financing for the Global Infrastructure Development Initiative. Where do you think that money's going to come from? Which is meant to offer countries an alternative to China's investment dollars. They've said it right there. They've just said their stupid plan. It sounds to me like China's investment dollars are doing a lot of damage to the rest of their idea of global domination. Didn't watch much of the Chat AI CEO speaking in Congress, but did catch the CEO saying that he looked forward to working with the government. Of course. Why wouldn't he? The group reiterated its aim to pull together up to $600 billion. That's like $500 billion. That's a pin drop. And think about this: our deficit is 37, possibly higher now, 37 trillion, and growing. And financing for the G7's Global Infrastructure Development Initiative. That's what I mean by something is building in the background. Italian Premier Giorgia Meloni will skip the last day of the G7 because of floods earlier this week in northern Italy, which claimed at least 14 lives and devastated dozens of hamlets and towns. So I wonder what else is happening. Because she's got people on top of this. It sounds to me like it's just a good excuse to not be there or not be seen. Biden, who scrapped plans to travel on to Papua New Guinea and Australia after his stay in Japan so that he can get back to debt limit talks in Washington. What? Okay. Maybe I just misread that. Oh, he scrapped plans to travel to Australia basically after his stay in Japan so he can get back to Washington. Is also meeting with leaders of the so-called Quad partnership made up of Japan, Australia, India, and the United States. Then he hasn't. India can't play both sides of BRICS. That's okay. The G7 includes Japan, the United States, United Kingdom, France, Canada, Germany, Canada, and Italy, as well as the European Union. Well, that's not much. That's just like saying United States, European Union, two of one, one of another. But of course, then you get to these wonderful pictures here. Yeah, Russian private army had claims control of Bakhmut, but Ukraine says fighting continues. In Kyiv, Ukraine, the head of the Russian private army, Wagner, claimed Saturday that his forces have taken control of the city of Bakhmut after the longest and most grinding battle of the Russian-Ukraine war. But Ukraine defense officials denied it in a video posted on Telegram. Wagner head, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the name, call him YP, said the city came under complete Russian control at about midday Saturday. He spoke, flanked by half a dozen fighters with ruined buildings in the background, explosions heard in the distance. However, after the video appeared, Ukraine Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Marali said heavy fighting was continuing. The situation is critical. As of now, our defenders control certain industrial and infrastructure facilities in this area. We seized everything and we are dominating. So it's one person saying one thing is happening, another thing is happening, and I'm not sure which one is true. Hey, Rose, listening, have an early supper taken. Oh, nice. Well, you come back when you can. And roses have been sent to you, Daisy. Daisy sending roses to Rose. I love it. I love it. It's not clear which side has paid a higher price in this battle, but both Russia and Ukraine have endured losses believed to be in the thousands. Russian forces are blah blah after Russian switches focus to the Donbass following a botched attempt to seize Kiev early in February of 2022. Moscow's troops tried to take Bakhmut in August, but were pushed back. So that's just basically, talking back and forth, lobbing bullets, throwing rocks, claiming ground. Each side claims that they're winning. And it's not helping. So, of course, you got this one, which is saying sanctions against Russia and what the G7 may do to fortify them. It's not telling us anything different. Will starve Russia of G7 technology, industrial equipment, and services that support its war machine. Really? China is on the list. Some Chinese companies that are thought to be supplying components to Russia that can be used for military equipment are on the list of entities that might be sanctioned. Really? Go for it. Try. See what happens whenever China calls in their chits. Of course, an EU official said on Saturday China has not so far joined other countries in announcing any restrictions on trade with Russia, but has also refrained from providing weapons or other material, unlike the US. Yes, of course. Always, always, constantly. It's not doing anything to help. They look at it as a means to an end. All of them will get fat, rich, and happy, while the rest of the pawns on the board move about. Put us all on high alert until something bad breaks. Cat gets out of the bag, whatever. Something 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 big is coming down the pipeline. I don't know what it is, but I don't think I'm the only one feeling it. And I say that because of a discussion I had last night. And it was unrelated, but I started thinking about it, and it's like everybody has is holding their breath, waiting on this one thing to happen. It's like that pause right before you rip the band-aid off. You know, pull all those nasty little hairs out along with it. Oh, you know that painful feeling because that band-aid's been on there way too long. It's all gummy. No matter what you do, it's just going to rip that hair out. You can't pull it off slow because then it's just slow, painful. I think that's what we've been doing currently. We're just peeling that band aid just ever so slowly, and it's painful when you feel every little bit of it. But at some point, that band aid's going to have to be ripped off. And when it gets ripped off, it's going to hurt. But it's going to relieve the pressure, whatever that pressure might be. I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I really look forward to doing my series on the Federalist Papers. I think it's important because of what those papers actually stood for. Anyhow, the EU has enforced sanctions largely in line with those imposed by the US, Britain, and Canada. Japan stepped up its sanctions, while they say more sanctions are needed. G7 officials say they're seeing more and more evasion of sanctions, high-tech exports to third countries, from microprocessors and sensors for Russian cruise missiles to chips and military communications equipment make their way onwards to Russia and end up in weapons used against Ukraine on the battlefield. The sanctions on Russian fossil fuels, such as the price cap on oil, have worked, but their impact has been blunted by surging exports to China and India. Well, you have other parts on your body that have hair. Just saying. Just saying. I wasn't being dirty. You have hair on your head. Well, most people do have hair on their head. And I don't know. Mine's waning slowly every year. Eventually, I'll just end up shaving it all bald. My wife hates whenever I tell her that. Because whenever my wife and I met, I had just chopped off probably about, I don't know, a foot and a half of hair, and it was still down my back. I mean, yeah. She was like, "You cut off how much?" yeah. I've got hair that makes women very jealous because it's not like curly. It's not straight. It's got like waves to it, slight curls that happen in it whenever I grow it out long. Now it's all gray, and I'm sure it just would frizz out everywhere. I'd look like Einstein or something without the brains. But enough of the bad stuff. Enough of the bad stuff. Seeing that we're talking about Germany, why don't we talk about this right here? A German surgeon fired after getting a hospital cleaner to assist amputation. Officials at a hospital in West Germany have expressed regret after it emerged that one of their surgeons got a cleanser to assist in toe amputation. The incident happened in the Mainz University Hospital, which happened in 2020. Of course, didn't result in any complications to the patient, but the doctor has since been fired. So the surgery went wrong. The surgeon wrongly decided to go ahead with a routine procedure, even though no qualified assistance was available. When the patient, who had received a local anesthetic, became restless, the doctor asked a nearby cleaner to hold the man's leg and pass surgical instruments. The paper reported that the cleaner had no medical experience. The incident came to light after the hospital manager spotted the cleaner, bloody gauze pods in hand, and the operating theater, it reported. This never should have happened. I'm not worried about it. I'm really not worried about it. That's the thing. I've got a thick head of hair. It just yeah. I'm not worried about it. So whenever I first read that, I was just like, why was he using hospital cleaner to assist in amputation? So, yeah, I just read it completely wrong. I was like, did he like dip his toe in like an acid bath before he amputated it, or he cleaned the foot? No, it makes sense. They had a janitor help in assisting in the amputation. I guess they just couldn't say janitor. This is the problem with using politically correct fucking language. It becomes ununderstandable unless you read the whole thing. My brother-in-law does surgeries. He's constant. He's a PA, so a physician's assistant, and they do a lot of surgeries. And he uses some pretty hardcore soap to clean up and do a scrub before they actually do surgery. And that's what I thought they were talking about. I'm an idiot. Basically, they had a janitor hold the guy's leg down because he didn't have enough assistance. That sucks. But would I, if it was me, have to have a toe amputated, and instead of running away from it, cleaner stepped up there and held that leg down like a true champ. That's pretty awesome. But hey, it's Germany. They do weird shit in Germany anyway. But how would you like to be this guy right here? Man indicted in theft of Wizard of Oz ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland. And even signed? Damn. Some sequined shoes. Man has been indicted by a grand jury on charges of stealing a pair of ruby red slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz. The shoes were stolen in 2005 and recovered in a 2018 FBI sting, but no arrests were made at the time. Terry Martin was indicted Tuesday with one count of theft of a major artwork, prosecutors announced Wednesday. The indictment did not provide any further information about Martin, and online records do not list an attorney for him. Martin is 76 and lives 12 miles south of the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids. When reached by the newspaper, he said, "Gotta go on trial. I don't want to talk to you." Janie Heights, executive director of the museum, told the AP she was surprised the suspect lived nearby, but said no one who works at the museum knows him. Now, she wore a few of these ruby red slippers during the production of the 1939 musical, but only 4 authentic pairs remain. When they were stolen, the slippers were insured for about $1 million, but the current market value is about $3.5 million. Who's going to pay $3.5 million? What is that? Judy Garland was thought to have at least 7 different pairs of ruby slippers on the set of the 1939 classic. Yes. The slippers were on loan to the Judy Garland Museum in the late actor's hometown when someone climbed through the window and broke the display case. Prosecutors said when they were recovered. Hines said she and the museum staff were a little bit speechless that someone had been charged nearly 2 decades after the slippers were stolen. Over the years, several enticing rewards were offered in hopes that the slippers would turn up. Law enforcement offered $250,000 early on in the case, and an anonymous donor from Arizona put up $1 million in 2015. The road to the missing slippers began when the man told the shoes insurer in 2017 that he could not help get them back. After nearly year-long investigation, the FBI nabbed the shoes in Minneapolis in 2018. At the time, the Bureau said no one had been arrested or charged in the case. On Wednesday, damn dogs making barking noises. It's crazy. It's just crazy. There are the other slippers are held by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the Smithsonian, and a private collector. Slippers were on loan from Hollywood memorabilia collector Michael Shaw, who received an insurance payment 7 years after the theft. Hines said the museum staff hopes the slippers will return to Garland's hometown after the legal case ends. Well, they might want to up their security. It looks like what's his name? Camelot's been spotted. Serious. Hey, have you guys seen those? Camelot was spotted. There you go. Surfing gators seen relaxing at Alabama beach amid the waves. Just chilling out. Just chilling out. Like, you see this bastard there and realize he can take you, he can move faster on land than you can. You might not want to be hanging out there. Just saying. That's a bad idea. Be hanging out with them. Yeah. Bad idea. Was a big old boy just getting cooled down. Just getting cooled down. But Taco Tuesday trademark tiff flares anew between two fast food competitors. The Yakin Takin in Cheyenne, Wyoming, declaring a mission to liberate Taco Tuesday for all. Taco Bell is asking U.S. regulators to force Wyoming-based Taco John's to abandon its long-standing claim to the trademark. Why? Just do if you don't like it, just do Taco Thursdays. Doesn't have to be a Taco Tuesday. Nope. Too many businesses and others refer to Taco Tuesday for Taco John's to be able to have exclusive rights to the phrase. Taco Bell asserts that in a U.S. Patent and Trademarking Office filing that is, of course, dated Tuesday. That was last Tuesday. In this latest development of long-running beef over Taco Tuesday that even included NBA star LeBron James making an unsuccessful attempt to claim the trademark in 2019. See? Taco believes Taco Tuesday is critical to everyone's Tuesday. To deprive anyone of saying Taco Tuesday, be it Taco Bell or anyone who provides tacos to the world, is like depriving the world of sunshine itself. Right. No. It's so stupid and ridiculous. You're fighting over a name. Taco Bell just sounds salty. A key question is whether Taco Tuesday over the years has succumbed to genocide. Okay. New York trademark law attorney Emily Poehler said, that's the term for when a word or a phrase becomes so widely used for similar products, or in this case, sales promotions, they are no longer associated with the trademark holder. Well-known examples of genocide, I don't know, include cellophane, escalator, and trampoline. Daisy got her ruby red slippers on. I bet those shoes are hot too. Well-known examples of genocide victims. Oh, I already read that. Basically, what this is about is you cannot trademark something that is generic. I guess that's what they mean, generic side. Poehler said that means it doesn't have any association with that particular source or product. James, a well-known taco lover, who doesn't like a little taco, encountered this problem when he tried to trademark Taco Tuesday in 2019. The Patent and Trademark Office, in a ruling that didn't refer to Taco John's, deemed Taco Tuesday too much of a commonplace term to qualify as a trademark. With more than 7,200 locations in the U.S. and internationally, Taco Bell, a Yum Brands chain. Along, okay, that's the name of it. Yum Brands. Woolworths had Taco Tuesday until they closed in 1997. See? Well, along with Pizza Hut, KFC, the Habit Burger Grill. Okay, so Taco Bell is owned by Yum Brands or Yum Brands. Sounds Chinese. They're also Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, KFC, and the Habit Burger Grill are all owned by Taco Bell or owned by Yum. So Taco Bell's in there too. It's vastly bigger than Cheyenne-based Taco John's. Began as a food truck more than 50 years ago. Taco John's now has about 370 locations in the 23 mainly Midwestern, Western states. I don't know because I never heard of Taco John's. The chain's relative small size hasn't discouraged big-time enforcement of Taco Tuesday as a trademark, which dates to the 1980s. But see, she's saying that Woolworths had it up until 1997. The company sent a letter to a brewery just 5 blocks from its corporate headquarters, warning it to stop using Taco Tuesday to promote a taco truck parked outside on Tuesdays. The chain's relatively small size hasn't discouraged for this shit, and actively defending a trademark is required to maintain claim to it. And the letter was just one example of Taco John's telling restaurants far and wide to stop having Taco Tuesdays. For the love of God, stop having Taco Tuesdays. Taco John's responded to Taco Bell's filing by announcing a new 2-week Taco Tuesday promotion with a large side of Reposit. Okay. That's stupid. I'd like to thank our worthy competitors at Taco Bell for reminding everyone that Taco Tuesday is celebrated at Taco John's. CEO Kim Creel said in an emailed statement, "We love celebrating Taco Tuesday with taco lovers everywhere, and we even want our offer a special invitation to fans of Taco Bell to liberate themselves by coming by to see how flavorful and bold tacos can be at Taco John's all month long. But if you're only running it for 2 weeks, a 2-week Taco Tuesday promotion, well, that's only like two Tuesdays, right? Wouldn't it be only 2 Tuesdays? So we're running this promotion for 2 Tuesdays. Damn, that's very bold of us. We're pretty stylish. Fucking hilarious. By the way, cheers. Happy afternoon, everyone. It's 4:30 somewhere in the world. The filings is one of 2 from Taco Bell involving Taco Tuesday. One contests Taco John's claim to Taco Tuesdays in 49 states, while a similar filing contests a New Jersey restaurant and a bar's claim to Taco Tuesday in that state. Both Taco John's and Gregory's restaurant and bar in Summers Point, New Jersey, have been using Taco Tuesday for over 40 years. A Taco John's franchisee in Minnesota came up with Taco Tuesday to promote two tacos for 99 cents on a slow day of the week, Creel told the Associated Press in an interview Tuesday. The Patent and Trademark Office approved the Taco John's Taco Tuesday trademark in 1989. Even with its many letters, Creel said the company has never had to go to court over the phrase. He's not feeling too picked on either by the much bigger Taco Bell. It's okay. It's kind of nice that they've noticed. So does anybody, we're talking food here. Does anybody like bananas? Really? Come on. Let's see. Does anybody like bananas? Bananas, everybody. Banana, cocaine. There you go. Italian police dog with fine nose for cocaine sniffs out drugs hidden in banana shipment. Rome. With the help of a high-leaping dog with a fine nose for cocaine, Italian police seized more than about 3 tons of the drug hidden in 70 tons of boxed bananas shipped from Ecuador, authorities said Tuesday. Police estimated that the cocaine, which they described as of the finest quality, that's amazing that they must have tried it out. This is some of the finest quality cocaine we've ever had, and we just found 3 tons of it. We are feeling like everything right now, like especially our faces are all numb, and we've got this drip that won't stop. I mean, we say it's 3 tons. It could have been that, it was 30 tons. We've had a busy weekend. Just saying. Could have bought traffickers more than 800 million euros in street sales if it had reached its ultimate destination in Armenia. Man, you're telling me that the people in Armenia just missed out on 3 tons of the finest quality snow this side of Ecuador. I think that the Armenians are going to be a little angry. I think they should rise up. You stole our pleasure away. Sex without it is never going to be the same. It's going to be horrible. Sorry. I'm making an ass of myself. Customs police became suspicious about 2 containers on a cargo ship that recently arrived at the port of, I'm not even going to try to say it, in the toe of the Italian peninsula and the stronghold of, I'm not going to say that either, organized crime clan. Some names I can't say. Police told Italian state radio that documents and a background check indicated the shippers of the bananas weren't in the bananas of moving that much fruit. Yeah, they really don't move that much fruit. They only move like a ton of fruit. So we can't understand why there's 30 tons of this fruit coming in. It's insane. How does this happen? Police officers used scanning machines and the dog named Joel, to uncover packets of cocaine hidden in boxes stacked under meters high in container trucks. Joel leaped high and eagerly when the officers opened the back doors of the truck and pawed furiously at the unloaded boxes to try to move the bananas aside. Banana, cocaine. No, it was Rita bananas. See, Rika bananas. Had the drug eluded detection, the containers with the cocaine would have continued through the Mediterranean to a Black Sea port in Georgia. There's no Black Sea. Man, that's so racist. Black Sea port in Georgia. We don't have a sea. Got the ocean. Just because we got lots of folks of color around here doesn't mean they should call it a Black Sea. I know, I'm joking. For eventual transportation to Armenia, authorities said. They didn't specify just when the container ship arrived in Gio Toro, but Customs Police said that just days before the seizure, Customs Police said at the same port found some 600 kilos, or almost a ton, of cocaine in 6 container trucks, also laden with exotic fruit from Ecuador. Damn, it sounds like I need to be taking my ass to Ecuador to party. Fuck. Not happening here. I'm not saying I'm going to bring anything back with me or anything. I mean, what goes on in Ecuador stays in Ecuador. Just saying. Anti-mafia investigative police aided in the seizure of this here cocaine. Criminals. Serious criminals. The Gioia Tauro port, one of Italy's busiest, has long been under the watch of anti-mafia investigators because of its proximity to towns where this particular crime clan has its base. The crime clan is one of the world's most powerful cocaine traffickers. Since the start of 2021 and included the latest seizure, Customs Police at the port have intercepted and seized a total of 37 tons of cocaine. Okay, now think about this. They've seized 37 tons. And it's probably only if you're like on a conservative side, if it was just 8% of what they seized at this one particular port. Guess whose father worked for the United Fruit Chiquita Bananas? Learned so much about stuff from him, which was indirectly verified in 2006 congressional testimony. Hey, it's interesting. But I mean, you think about this. 37 tons of cocaine just from the start of 2021. So since January of 2021, over a year, 37 tons. And that's probably just a nugget, 8% of what's been trafficked through. Nobody's hooking me up. What's wrong with you people? Jeez. No, just kidding. Don't send me drugs. At least, that would be bad. Of course, if you're going to have your cocaine, might as well have some chickens. Chicken loose on subway tracks halts service in Mexico City. This just to me sounds like complete idiocy. Like a chicken halts traffic. All right, some dude got his ass choked out on a subway, and it didn't halt the trains. I mean, halt them for a short period of time. People got on with their fucking lives. How backwards is Mexico? Well, I'm going to take that back. We all know how backwards they are. But how backwards is Mexico that they would halt everything in Mexico City over a chicken? Let's find out what they have to say about that. Nothing new. Cocaine and guns have been in banana shipments forever, allegedly. Of course. Service was temporarily halted on a line of Mexico City subway system after a cock got loose on the tracks. Video distributed by the city's metro system Monday showed the electricity cut off at the station near the city center on Sunday. The video showed maintenance personnel, civil defense officers, and a hard hats chasing an elusive bird around the tracks with brooms, gloves, and a trash bag. Here. We watch. Man, you guys are horrible. You can't catch a freaking chicken? Ah, jeez. Idiots. That's horrible. They're so stupid. So easy to catch a chicken. Chicken is code. Of course. The cock eluded several attempts to capture it before one worker tossed his coat over the bird. The metro system's service was quickly restored after the incident. Mexico City subway has been plagued by a series of incidents that city officials have claimed were sabotage. Just because someone whips out their cock on a subway, I mean, it happens in New York all the time. And they throw it down on the tracks. I mean, let the cock get run over. That's all I'm saying. Just let it get crushed. If he steps on the third rail, you've got like cooked chicken. Like they can smoke him. I mean, it helps if you pull the feathers out first before you do that. So you might want to catch it, pull the feathers out, and then toss it over there. Maybe get his innards out before he pops like a zit. Just saying. I don't know. Let the chickens cook. In May 2021, an elevated section of the subway system collapsed, killing 26 people and injuring nearly 100. An investigation blamed deficiencies on the line's construction, and 10 former officials have been charged with homicide, injury, and damage to property, although none have been jailed. Like the president, Sheinbaum often ascribes setbacks to a conservative party's conspiracy against her. So earlier this year, Lopez Obrador ordered 6,000 National Guard agents to patrol the subway platforms because it was a chicken. Because it was a chicken. Chickens aren't very smart. Chickens are not very smart. But I will guarantee you, the chickens are smarter than this next guy. Way smarter than this next guy. Colorado man tries to trade places with a dog to avoid DUI arrest. I think Tweety probably had something to do with this. It happened in Colorado. Tweety, what are you doing over there in Colorado? I know you're like trying, you're setting this guy up. Springfield, Colorado, a driver who was pulled over for speeding tried to switch places with his dog to avoid arrest. The officer watched him maneuver inside the car before he got on the passenger side in Springfield, a town of about 1,300 people in the state's eastern plains. Man said he was not behind the wheel and clearly showed signs of being drunk. Well, no shit. He ran from the officer when asked about how much he had to drink and was caught within about 20 yards. That's still pretty quick. 20 yards? You go 20 yards running from a cop, you're pretty quick. After being taken to the hospital to be checked out, the man was arrested on suspicion. So he's being arrested on suspicion of charges. Yeah. I know you set it up. Because he didn't know he was already on the other side. There you go. Man said he was not behind the wheel, and after being taken to the hospital to be checked out, the man was arrested on suspicion of charges. He was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence of alcohol and or drugs and driving while inability impaired, as well as for previous arrests. These people are horrible fucking riders. I mean, I'm no English major, but they could have said the man was charged or arrested and charged on suspicion of driving under the influence. But Tweet. People can report better than this. Technically, the man was so stoned he thought his dog was driving. No, he thought that he could get away with moving him over. Well, and speaking of, getting away with shit, tomorrow's being a Sunday. We like to always do crazy shit on the weekends. Church members hoping whoever stole a truckload of organ pipes will repent. Shipment can be recovered. Members of a Tennessee church are hoping and praying for whoever stole a moving truck over the weekend will repent. After finding out what's inside, old organ pipes, and lots of them. The Calvary Episcopal Church in downtown Memphis has loaded a Penske truck with nearly 2,000 organ pipes. Now, you have to understand organ pipes. Some of those can be very large and some of them can be very small. Just saying. Not that I would know anything about it because I'm nowhere near Memphis. The organ pipes for transport to Spencer Organ Company in Boston. These are the people that sued Hammond over calling their Hammond B3 an organ because they didn't like it. That was one of the companies that sued them. You can't call it an organ. It's a tone generator. Oh, for the love of God, it's not an organ. They were to go under restoration, which means they basically just clean them up and get all the spit out of them. Just kidding. No, they do actually clean them up, make them nice and shiny. Instead, the church discovered on Sunday that the truck and almost 90-year-old pipes were gone. Yeah, I mean, sounds like an old man problem there. If he's 90-year-old and his pipes are gone, well, might be a problem. Spencer Organ Company owner Joseph Rotella said in a police report, the pipes have limited value to whoever has them now. They have amazing intrinsic value to this project. They're historic. It's going to be very hard to duplicate them, but they don't have a lot of value outside of this particular organ. A statement posted on the church website, Memphis Police and Penske are involved in the search for the missing truck. The church also relayed that Rotella said industry colleagues have experienced similar thefts. In those cases, the thieves realized that the contents of the van had little to no street value and abandoned the vehicle. We hope for a similar resolution in the days to come. So once they open up that truck and they find out there's just a bunch of pipes in there, maybe they'll sell them as swords. Stop it. Stop it. For the love of God. So today was a really interesting day. I got up and I went to what is the name of the place? It's a AAA. Went to AAA. You might ask, why did I go to AAA today? I'm not a AAA member. I could care less about AAA, actually. Give two shits about them. I think it's a scam. Only reason I say that is because I've had to deal with cars that have been brought in from AAA that would just been better instead of them like throwing a battery in it if they would have just had it towed to nearest dealership or mechanic or whatever. I don't have a whole lot of love for AAA, but my wife calls me up, was it Thursday? Sent me a message on Thursday and said, hey, for you to drive in Italy, you've got to have an international driver's license. I thought she was full of garbage. I was like, yeah, that makes no sense. What I drove in England, I drove in Scotland, drove in France. I wasn't required to have an international driver's license. It's not a driver's license, it's a permit. I know it's a permit. So what it is you basically go to AAA. There's other places that'll do it. They take a little picture of you. They create this little permit for you. So you're able to to basically drive in another country. I guess it does some sort of translation over to English of what your driver's license information is. Some crap like that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So I'm thinking, if you've ever had to deal with the DMV, it's horrible, it's boring, it's ridiculous, it's redundant, it's stupid, makes you want to pull out your head, slam your head into like a railroad spike while you dance to the Macarena. It's horrible, rotten stuff. I hate the DMV with a passion. I hate dealing with their bullshit. But if you ever have to get an international driver's license, go to the AAA place. The whole process took 5.5 minutes at most. And I wasn't the only one there. There was someone there in front of me, and there was a guy behind me. She took my picture. She took the guy behind me's picture right afterwards, printed it up, filled out the information, sent me on my way. $32 later. See you, bye. Done. Done and done. So it was a very easy process. I recommend anybody do it that's going to be driving internationally. It was super easy, super chill. But not as chill as this guy had here. This guy here, oh, he had it rough. I mean, when I say he had it rough, this guy here, he had it rough. Poor Tom Kim. He merges muddy in a failed viral bid to retrieve a ball at a PGA championship. He looks very concentrated. Why is it the golfers always tend to get this little gut? McKinney, Texas? Huh. I didn't know they had golf. Okay, anyway. Pittsburgh, New York. Tom Kim would do anything to save a golf stroke, especially at a major. And he's got the mud cake pants and shirt to prove it. Kim went all in, waist deep into the muck of a marshy area along the Oak Hills, Allen's Creek. Wow. In a bid to retrieve his ball following an errant tee off during number 6. During the opening round of the PGA Championship on Thursday, he emerged without the ball, his shirt and pants covered in mud, while also not realizing he had instantly become a viral sensation on social media, much of his ordeal broadcast on television. Are you kidding me? Kim said, pulling down his white cap to hide his face upon leaving the scorer's tent, where he was informed his dip into the mud went worldwide. Unbelievable. All for a ball. Kim then sunk to his knees and began to laugh upon being handed a cell phone to see video for the first time. Embarrassed as a 20-year-old from South Korea was, Kim was adamant he would do it again on a day he finished 3 over 73 to sit in a tie for 63rd during a first round of what's yet to be completed after being postponed by darkness. Oh, come on, you're finding it. In a major championship, and every shot matters. It could be the difference of me having a chance to win on Sunday or making the cut or whatever it is, said Kim, a 2-time PGA Tour winner and competing in his 7th major. I was told it was the mud, and if I'm able to hit a shot, I'm doing everything I can to do it. So I definitely tried, but it was very unfortunate. I couldn't even find the ball. Kim actually went in twice. The first time was his attempt to retrieve the ball. Once he put his foot in, he said he sunk into the mud up to his waist and had difficulty getting out. Exactly. Dedication to a sport is now going viral. No, because it probably was pretty funny. Hopefully I find the video, because that sounds hilarious. As soon as I went in, I knew it was kind of sketchy. I had to crawl, use every part of my body. Oh, yeah, use every part of your body to get out. He then turned to Allen's Creek again, this time to wash off. Back on the fairway, Kim removed his mud-spattered shirt and donned a pullover top he had in his bag. He completed the round with his pants on, rolled up to about his calves. After settling for a bogey 5 on the 6, he closed with 3 consecutive pars, including lipping out of it. And I have no idea what these words mean. I'm just spouting bullshit. It's pretty embarrassing, but like I said, I wouldn't change it for the world because I don't regret anything I did. I think I would have regretted it more having not tried to go in there, Kim told the AP. Every single shot matters so much to me, and I'm going to try everything I can. Kim then paused for a moment, broke into a smile, saying, "Later in my career, I'm going to be able to be proud of this moment for sure." There we go. See, that's a guy that's having fun. But, fun, of course. Fun, like true fun, is nothing like being a Florida man. See? Told you, I can tie some of this stuff in. Of course. A Florida man living underwater won't resurface even after breaking the record. In Key Largo, Florida, a university professor broke a record for the longest time living underwater without depressurization this weekend at a Florida Keys lodge for scuba divers. Joseph Turry's 74th day resides in Jules Undersea Lodge, situated at the bottom of a 30-foot deep lagoon in Key Largo. It wasn't much different than his previous days since he submerged in March 1st. The Turry, which also goes by the moniker Mr. Deep Sea, ate a protein-heavy meal. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you love the protein. Golf never sounded so sexy. Read it again. Read it right. Don't bawl over it. Bloody Aftermath is on YouTube. Well, maybe I'll pull it up. But Mr. Deep Sea here, we're talking deep ladies. He ate a protein-heavy meal of eggs and salmon. Did he catch the salmon in the ocean? That's what I'm wondering. Did he just reach out the window and just pluck a couple off the tree, off the salmon tree? I mean, come on. If you're going to eat salmon, might as well, go whole hog or whole fish. Cheers. He prepared using a microwave. What? That just sounds horrible. Why would you use a microwave underwater? Weird. He exercised with resistant bands, did his daily push-ups, and took an hour-long nap. Unlike a submarine, the lodge doesn't use technology to adjust for the increased underwater pressure. Okay. I bet it uses some sort of technology, though. I mean, they're not stupid. The previous record of 73 days, 2 hours and 34 minutes was set by two Tennessee professors, Bruce Cantrell and Jessica Fain, at the same location in 2014. It just sounds to me like they were just enjoying a good honeymoon. He plans to stay at the lodge until June 9th, when he reaches 100 days and completes an underwater mission dubbed Project Neptune 100. The mission combines medical and ocean research along with educational outreach and was organized by the Marine Reserves Development Foundation, owner of the habitat. The record is a small bump, and I really appreciate it, said Dietrich, University of South Florida educator who holds a doctorate in biomedical engineering and is a retired U.S. naval officer. I'm honored to have it, but we still have more of the science to do. More of the science. There you go. See, we got it right there. We got it right there. We'll pull it up. Just you wait. You guys are really into this particular guy, aren't you? You're thinking, Mr. Kim. You sound like a wonderful, wonderful guy. Mr. Kim. We will pull it up. We will have some fun. And I'll have to read it again just for Daisy Girl. Daisy Girl got very turned on by me talking about playing with balls and getting all muddy. Dirty balls should be cleaned. His research includes daily experiments in physiology to monitor how the human body responds to long-term exposure to extreme pressure. The idea here is to populate the world's oceans, to take care of them by living in them and really treating them well. The outreach portion This is stupid. Why are people so freaking ignorant? I'm sorry. Sorry. This guy I find to be very stupid. Sure, have some fun, enjoy it, enjoy the spotlight. It's cool. You're breaking a world record from staying underwater. Her freaking ray for you. Absolutely wonderful. And if you think about it, he's saying what? They're down let's see. Deep sea, 30-foot deep. That's not very deep. I'm telling you that 30 feet is not deep. Being submerged 30 feet is not very deep. I mean, yes, you've got some pressure on you, but I've done dives to 70 feet, 70 and close to 80. Like 77 feet was the deep depths that I was hitting in Belize. Like those videos I have of me diving with the shark swimming around, that short I have. If you look, is it on that particular one? I'm not sure if it's on that. No, it's definitely not on that one, but there is another one that I'll probably release shortly. Not today. Maybe next weekend or something. Shows my dive watch, and it reads like 78 feet. So, yeah. And you don't feel that kind of pressure. Would you emerge from an underground bunker in 2023? I don't know. Maybe I might. During the past 74 days, he has reached over 2,500 students through online classes in marine science and more with his regular biomedical engineering courses at the University of South Florida. He says he loves living under the ocean. There's only one thing he really misses. Well, probably sex. Sex might be a big thing he might be missing. The thing that I miss most about being on the surface is literally the sun. The sun has been a major factor in my life. I usually go to the gym at 5 and then I come back out and watch the sunrise. Yeah, there's a reason why we're bipedal and we don't have gills, is because we live on land. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going and checking out the ocean. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Wonderful thing. What we'll do is we will pull this one up just because we can. Share this tab instead. There we go. Here we go. So I got it muted. Looks like he's taking a dump. Just saying. Like he's busy. And I'm going to turn off the music because I don't want to get like deleted because of it. Just saying. So he's digging in the dirt. His butt. Watch how she like gets behind him. She like sneaks behind him, like she's checking it out. She's like watching him bend over. See, watch. Yep, she's checking his butt out. She's like, oh, look at that, look at that. Oh, I should be looking at that. You see it? She's checking his butt, checking his butt. Yep, dirty girl. She's like, yep, I saw that. I'm seeing it. She's gonna catch a glance again. See, you saw that. Don't tell me you didn't see that. She was checking out dude's butt. She was like, oh, Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim. She's going for the butt. She's gonna do it. I'm telling you, this is hilarious. Her just creeping back. It's like, I'm trying to get my socks on. She's gonna go, oh, let me step back. And oh yeah, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Oh yeah. She's getting into that butt. She was looking for balls. Yep. She's a creeper. Speaking of bubbling on by, there we go. Denmark's mystery tremors caused by acoustic waves from an unknown source. Sort of like the little tremors Daisy girl gets looking at that man's legs, his sexy legs. She's like, look at those legs. Nice butt, too. She's getting tremors. A little quiver. See? Even Tweety. Getting little quivers, thinking about that ass. Yeah, get that button. Copenhagen, Denmark, AP. A series of minor tremors. Minor. Recorded on the Danish Baltic island of Bornholm Saturday has puzzled scientists who are now say they're caused by acoustic pressure waves from an unknown source. Sounds like a bad case of gas. Sounds like a bad case of gas. At first, the tremors were thought to have been caused by earthquakes, but then the seismologists theorized they originated from controlled explosions in Poland. That sounds like some heavy-duty pounding right there. The Polacks know how to have sex, I'm telling you. For more than 140 kilometers, nearly 90 miles to the south, on Monday, the Geological Survey of Denmark and Greenland, an official body. I love official bodies. Oh, there's so much. See, look at you. Objectifies men. Sorry, not sorry. Nothing wrong with that. You know, and that's the thing. Most guys don't mind being objectified. I mean, as a sex object, I mean, we don't complain much. Oh, where the hell? I thought my computer locked up again. I did that twice yesterday while I was working on something. Okay. On Saturday, GEUS said it received more than 60 tips from people on Bornholm that earthquake-like tremors described as deep rumblings, shakings, rattlings, changed pressure in the air. No one was hurt, of course. Police said they were contacted by members of the public about the tremor on the eastern part of the island. Did it sound like this? No, I don't think it did. It might have. It could have sounded like this. I don't think that's what the noise was. It couldn't have been this noise. That wake you up? Did that wake you up? Polish authorities said that there was an intense activity during that Anaconda 23. Come on, you've got this has got to be a joke. I'm being punked here. Said no one was hurt. Police said they were contacted by members of the public about the tremor. On the eastern part of the island, Danish media reports that tremors caused a crack in the wall of a house. Polish authorities said there was intense activity during the Anaconda 23 exercise in northern Portland, involving jet fighters and live firing or artillery munitions. Sure. Grumpy Fox is adorably cute. Yes. He's not grumpy. He's giving a cry. He's alarming, making sure that everybody knows there's an intruder around. Intruder. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. So basically, it was the seismic tremors measured a magnitude of 2.3. And this is all from breaking the sound barrier. So rockets, red glare, bombs bursting in air. Yeah, they cause tremors. At least my wife gets tremors when explosions are happening. Just saying. 40,000 people. It's a rocky island in the Baltic Sea, south of Sweden, northeast of Germany, and north of Poland. I couldn't have guessed that even if I tried where that place was. But they thought it was probably a quiet place to do quiet things. But they didn't do quiet things, and they got themselves in all kinds of trouble. Making sonic booms. Poland. Yes, Poland. They were making those sonic booms, dealing with Anaconda. My Anaconda don't want none unless you got buns on. Unless you've got buns on. See? Daisy Girl could have an anaconda, and Tweety could have an anaconda. That man's ass would have been stuck in the mud for much longer. They like it dirty. They like it wet. Sorry. I should probably stop. So, what I've got coming up this next week. Okay. And I may try doing this on Sunday. It depends. I may start doing the Federalist Papers on Sunday. Sort of giving my take on it, and yeah, I could be completely wrong. But I think Sundays I might do that, and then I on Mondays I have my regular cult stream, and this Monday I'm gonna probably have Winning come on. It should be really really good, really entertaining, and I'm hoping that it's informative for a lot of people. I haven't set up the stream, so you probably won't see it listed, but that's something that I'm going to be doing later on because tonight, oh hell, the booze is hitting. Yeah, booze is hitting, sweetheart. I've been drinking since 3 o'clock. There's my dog barking. They're very angry, which is a reminder that I have to go feed my neighbor's pups. See, I'm a nice neighbor like that they call up and say, "Hey, can you come feed our dogs? We just need someone to take care of them tonight. Just feed them. It's cool. It's good. Happiness is a good thing." So I actually have to run and go do that. Plus, I have this nice, big, fat, juicy bone-in ribeye that I'm going to grill up tonight. And then I'm going to kick back. I'm going to enjoy maybe a little bit of TV. I might watch some streams, see who all is going on tonight. I'm sure there's quite a few people, so it'll be a good time. And this way, I can sort of get my plan put together for what I want to do on Sunday. Like I said, my plan is to do this particular stream on Sundays, get my other stuff set up. Just my comic stuff. Avoid YouTube penalizing you. Don't worry about it. They ain't going to penalize me. No problem. And I'll pull them up. I'll pull them up anyway. I'll pull every damn one of them up. Show them on stream. I don't care. No, but so and then we'll see how the rest of the week goes. I know that like tonight, which is Mrs. Valhalla's birthday, so you won't see anything coming out of Valhalla for the next few hours. I'm sure he'll jump on somebody's stream. The man's a beast. He is a beast. He's a beast that raised beasts. We know that you ladies get all turned on by him with all his beard and manliness. But tonight Rabbit, is going to be a very chill night. I'm going to be kicking back, having just, like I said, I may just watch a movie, spend some time with my pups. It feels like I've been going nonstop on streams for the whole time that my wife has been out of town, starting like on Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday I did Winning Reality. Then it was Thursday. I don't remember if I streamed Thursday. Friday, I was on Friday Night Live with the expert, which was so much fun. Yeah, and I guarantee you it is well worth a watch. Valhalla even made he's a good kid. Valhalla even made a surprise appearance, came popping in for a little bit. I think he was on with Danny on last night. Danny on Direct is where he was at last night, which is really cool. Really cool. Good people. But yeah, he stopped by for a little bit, and Guava Ball had a very interesting story. It was really good. Really good. Of course, the AI Melissa Jane was there, which she is such a blast. We actually talked a little bit afterwards, just about what was going on with her. She was going, I gotta go get some food. She was getting a little hungry. That's okay. It's okay. But just having these conversations with the expert, with Melissa, and it got me to thinking about this last night, because my damn brain goes a million miles an hour constantly. This is why I have a hard time articulating certain things. It just feels like it's on speed all the time. And if you've ever been on speed, I don't recommend it. It's horrible. sort of like fucks with your mind. Like whenever I'm on it, it tends to slow me down a little bit. My brain works faster than it should. So sometimes I'll say things, and because my brain has already spoken the words, and then it comes out of my mouth later, sometimes I miss like the whole message. It's so horrible. So horrible. Anyhow. So I'm going to head out. I'm going to go spend time with my pups. I suggest everybody have a wonderful weekend. It's nothing but a beautiful day, no matter where you're at. Even if it's raining, miserable, pouring down, there's always something beautiful to find about the day. About 4 more weeks, you get glasses to see again. That'll be awesome, Rabbit. That will be so awesome. I can't wait for that for you. I really can't. You'll be just like, so happy. And of course, what am I talking about? It doesn't matter. I'm just talking shit. But what I'm going to do is I want to leave you. And I'm going to leave you with the turtles tonight. They will show you some love, and it will end this bad boy. And the next time you see it, it's going to be my my new bumper. I'm actually working on getting some other stuff done. I've got some other shorts I'm going to be releasing. No, I'm not taking my shorts off for you, Tweety. Keeping it in my, keeping my pants on for you. But yes, I will be releasing some more videos, probably some stuff of France, maybe some of Belize, maybe some of the jungle. I might even pull up some from my honeymoon, because that was like St. Lucia. It was beautiful. We got some really, really pretty pictures there. But anyhow, with that being said, just kidding. I'm just kidding. Everybody have a wonderful evening. I will see you on the flip side. Keep an eye out for tomorrow. There should be something. I haven't set it up yet, but I'm not worried about that tonight. Like I said, tonight is my off night, and I'm slightly off every night. But tonight, you guys have a wonderful evening. Peace.
Exótica.